Portions of the day's programming are reproduced by means of electrical transcriptions or tape recordings.
Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, where the world comes to talk radio. 80s television and more coming up live from Central Florida. Here we come. That, let's just say it kind of came on an album you didn't want your kids to speak out loud, but it was a big, big song. Call Me was the number one song for the year 1980, and that's kind of a theme for the show, is we're going to feature the top TV hits from the year 1980, plus we're going to talk about something kind of neato, the Zenith Trans Oceanic shortwave and medium wave receiver. It was the best that the U.S. could make, and it was pretty darn solid. By the way, this song not only was number one on the Billboard chart for 6 weeks and came in number one seller for the year, also topped the UK charts and the charts in Canada as well. Blondie with Call Me, originally on the American Gigolo album, we'll show that in a second, but they put it back on a special album they cut that they had music ready for in 1980, so you never know. The fortunes of music stars, right? Friday, the last day of July 31st, 2026, and from around the world, away we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Great to see you. Well, hello and howdy. That song came from the American Gigolo album. Like I said, you don't want your kids to be reading that. Like, Mom, hey, I'd really like that American Gigolo album. Would you write that for me, please? I kind of like that, like your 8-year-old. I hear it on the radio all the time. It's pretty good. Song by Blondie, Call Me, very first song on side one. So there you go. A little Blondie with Call Me starting us off today on a big show Friday. We got a lot to do today, a ton of stuff, including the top TV shows from the year 1980. The last time we did, and I have to give Tom an awful lot of credit for that in Bulgaria. Tom sent me just a blurb, quick 2.5 minute maybe segment that a guy on Instagram made, and it was the best shows from 1976. And immediately after that thing fully aired, and I mean, the comment stream kind of went quiet during that segment, and then it was like the floodgates were released with everyone bringing up TV shows, and I loved it. It was, honestly, of all the shows I've been very blessed to host here, that was probably my favorite show, because it had so much of your happiness and interest of memories in it. I hope we can recreate some of that for you today in the program. We're also going to take a look back in time at America's best shortwave radio. It was the legendary Zenith Trans Oceanic set. And boy, I'll tell you, whether you had a tube, I know UK valve set, or if you had the transistor one, it just had a very special quality to it that, as Zenith said, the quality goes in before the name goes on. And that was actually from their founder. And it's an interesting story. We'll share that with you today as well. Plus, it's the last day where Larry gives you custom trivia questions. It takes a while to do these things, but you might just learn something in that segment as well. And plus, we've got a segment coming from our dear friend Steve, Mike 1 Sierra Delta Hotel, all the way in Great Britain. But right now, he's in the Black Forest of Germany, a part of the European de-expedition group there on a POTA hunt. And they have been just working parks on the air since yesterday. And I've got an update and also some spots for you to look for this weekend so you can help them get numbers higher than last year. Let's find out who's first, second, and third today on a wonderful Big Show Friday, everybody. First up, I never took him down for a reason, because Tom doesn't honestly very, very rarely come in first, very rarely, if ever. But today, Tom, you did it on a Big Show Friday. Let's give Tom a big old meep, meep, please.
Meep, meep.
Well done, Tom. Wow. First in. No kidding, man. Keep your hands and arms inside the ride at all times. Man, good job, Tom. Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa here in the States. Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Good to see you, my friend. Joshua, if that's your grid square, you are in the Pacific Northwest, either Oregon or Washington. That's continent number 2. Welcome to the program. Good to see you, my friend. Happy Friday, buddy. Good to see you. Also here from North America, the United States there in Wisconsin, our dear friend Bill Myers, Kilo Alpha Golf India Mike. And I know one thing for sure, that our comment stream is going to be good, clean, and happy. Hi, Bill. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, we got such a fun show. Guys, you're going to love this show today. I hope you do. I sincerely do. Barry Wendon, my dear mate in the United Kingdom. He's got my Yaesu FTDX 9000 MP. And honestly, Barry, when you leave the house the next time, would you please give me a call, please?
Run, Forrest, run!
Might be a good idea. Don't ever leave the house. Gosh, that's a great radio. It really is. And they're not easy to find. I just saying. So, Barry, if you ever, decide you'd like to let go of that radio, which I know you won't, you'll always have Larry there for you. Oh, gosh. Great to see you, Barry. Happy Friday to you, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you indeed. Chris joins us from New York City. Hi, Chris. How did the ham test go, man? Is that still coming up? It's like Saturday? Let us know. He's calling in from Gotham City, New York. Yes. Oh, man. I keep on making a point. I told Karen last night, I'm like, I really want to go to New York City. And she goes, we should do that. We should do it around a time when we can catch like a Yankees and a Mets game, because everything about us revolves usually around baseball, because we both love baseball. Anyway, she's like, that would be a lot of fun. We could go like to Yankee Stadium. And then she's, I'm not kidding. She says, and then, wherever the Mets play, we could go there,
Hey, McFly!
Yeah. I'm like, here, stop, please. I said, I'm going to tell the people on YouTube you said that.
Thank you.
She said, don't you dare. So you don't know. Don't tell her I told you, okay? Speaking of Germany, there's Gunter DK50NV. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. It's just such a pleasure to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Chris says, Debbie, Harry, and Blondie is awesome. Yeah, they sure made a lot of money in 1980. That's for darn sure. Ooh, boy. Yeah, the money just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. Like, hey, this is really cool. Let's continue to make great songs. This just in, Spike still lives at the edge of a volcano. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. That's Bill's partner in crime. She let him get a desk. Bill got her a desk, too, but now Bill is on his way to get Kelly the best chair money can buy. Right, Bill? Yes. Kelly, great to see you. Happy Friday, my friend. There's our dear friend Kevin all the way in Iowa. Great to see you. He's listening on the road again, but he is here, and for that we're very grateful. Hi, Kev. Catch his net on Sunday night. It's really a great net. QRP, you can see how low you can go in power. He and Steve do an amazing job with the net. They really do. They both work to try and catch signals, and they let you know how far down, the noise you get, but they also encourage you to keep turning the power down. Kev, you're an inspiration. Thank you for coming. Happy Friday, buddy. Happy Friday to you, indeed. Yes, indeed. Gunter, who's cracking up in Idaho, Kev? Well, there's lots of potatoes around there. Bill says his dad was a licensed Zenith dealer. They were so big, guys. As we've gotten older, and I think, honestly, Zenith, the brand name, came down in quality quite a bit after their founder had passed away. It wasn't as big of a deal to make, high-quality stuff as it was in the 40s and 50s for them. But that Transoceanic, man, that radio was really good. I mean, it was really, really good. I hope you enjoyed that segment. It is truly the iconic radio from America here, right? During the 30s, 40s, and 50s. It's truly amazing. Even when they switched to transistors, the early ones, about 1961, the Royal 1000, a great radio in its own right. First Zenith Trans Oceanic to feature FM, but it's like it just kind of lost its way. Because think about it, what happened? 1954, 55, transistors came in, and then cheaper radios were in the market, and the market evolved. Instead of going to, like people from the Depression era, right? They would buy the best quality they could get because they didn't want to replace it again. In their minds, I get the best thing I can, therefore I know it's going to continue working. So that's why you see a lot of these old sets out there that are really good, taken care of. I'm going to show you one today, no kidding. That is a beautiful, like restored model, but you can only restore so much, right? It's still got to be clean because they don't make all these parts anymore. But Zenith was just the name that people loved, and it was truly quality back in the early days of radio, for sure. Man, oh man. That's a neat thing there, Bill. Thank you. Chris says, I plan to take the extra exam later in August. Okay, let us know. Thank you. We'd love to know. We'll be rooting for you. Spike is here from the great state of Montana. He says, here, safe from people, petting fluffy cows. Bless your heart. Kelly says, Blondie rocks. One of my faves. Thanks for featuring them, Larry. Anytime. If you have a song request, you can always reach out to us because you guys are really the boss here,
Boss.
Yeah.
Head man.
Yeah.
Top dog.
Sure.
Big cheese. A head honcho.
Captain!
Yeah, just let us know. As long as it was a hit, that's the only thing. I won't play like cut 6 on the Pink Floyd album called Blah, 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 because you like the song. I can't do that because people are going to go, why is he playing this? I've never heard this song before. Is that Floyd? I don't get it. Yeah, don't do that. Something people would know, mainstream-wise. And Kelly, you did you grow up in Alaska? Bill told me you're from Alaska. I don't know if you were born and raised there, but I've always wanted to go there. It just looks so beautiful. I mean, so beautiful. I mean, too cold, but nice. I like that, for sure. Yeah. Gunter, yep. Idaho's called the potato land. There are so many potatoes there, man. It's just, and they're so good. Here in Florida, let me just get to this right now.
And now, a Larry moment.
Florida potatoes are dumb. They're just really dumb potatoes. Every time I get a Florida potato, I have to cut most of it off, like, a third of it away, because it has all these black spots in it. And you get like a dead spot in the middle of potato and stuff. And pretty soon a potato was like maybe 3 or 4 inches long by maybe 2 inches wide is down to like 1 inch wide and 3 inches long. It's just ugh, they're awful. I never knew that potato quality could go down so far because of just like bad potatoes. I don't get it. But in like near Idaho, if you go I grew up in Oregon, right? We're right next door. We get all the Idaho potatoes we can eat, and they were so good. Not only that, but doggone it, they were
Run, Forrest, run!
too long. Okay, well, guess we'll stop. Oh, the potatoes are awful here. They're just awful. Bad. Oh, they're just. And I like potatoes. I just do. Yes. And Spike. Oh, see, now Spike and I are friends again. That's nice. Oh, bless your heart too, Larry. In the true sense of how those southern ladies say it. Bless you. Yeah. There you go, buddy. You know.
Adios, you chicken plucking little stinker!
Bye. Bye, Spike. Bill in Wisconsin. My dad said the same thing, Larry. When TVs became impossible to service, the quality went way down. Just throw it out and buy another one. And that's a shame because, like my mom, she was born in 1937, right? So she was a child of the Depression, kind of. Yeah, I mean, still part of that generation because the parents were, and they were saving everything. Got a broken toilet? Nope, don't throw that out. We might need a part there. Wait a minute, it's broken porcelain. Why are you holding on to that in your yard? You never know when you can use it for something else. Okay. But I mean, they saved everything. I mean, we took out, when my mom passed away unexpectedly, we took out 2.5 20 cubic yard containers filled with stuff that she just held on to. She just didn't get rid of it. And my grandmother, unfortunately, same way, they just never got rid of stuff. But when they bought something, when they stepped up to purchase it, they bought the very best they could afford because they didn't want it to go out. And man, remember, we're old enough, a lot of us, to remember the TV repair person, right? Usually the TV repairman would come over and he'd have like the really kind of weird looking truck, the van, and it would come out. And usually it had like a TV on it with like color bars or whatever. And it'd be like $50 for the service charge plus parts. And meanwhile, most of the stores in the area had tube testers where you could just take the tubes out, test them at the store, and buy replacement tubes at the store. That's how it was when we were young. But you held on to stuff. You didn't replace it. Now things are so cheap, you just replace it with a brand new one, and you get something a lot better, at least for now. And then 3 weeks later, it's outdated, and you start all over again, the whole process. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate that. We'll get to more comments here in just a second. Kelly, you're coming up first. Let's get into the HF weather today. Oh, wait, we didn't do any of this. Sorry, if you'd like to get your ham license, contact the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. Click on the contact part of their page. Tell them you want your ham license and where you live. They will send back to you a local to you ham radio club. They're wonderful people. www.arrl.org. Also a great Discord channel at ham-radio-live. That is ham-radio-live. All the stuff you need to be able to ask questions in a safe place, which I like, and no one's going to call you names if you don't know something. You can find it at ham-radio-live. Also a wonderful website set up by Rodney the Great in the Netherlands, www.hamradiolive.org. He's going to be redoing some of this next month, but lots of stuff's there to help you have fun in radio. Today's topic question, and you see something up top, right? There's a reason for that. What are your favorite TV shows? We got stuff for you today. You'll love it. Those are spots to look for this weekend if you're on the HF bands, okay? And on 2 as well. 2 meters, they're working 2. I know they're on 20, and I think they're on 17. I don't know the exact frequencies, and I think right now they're probably at the pub, to be honest. But those are some of the call signs. Remember, Delta Lima stroke in front of it. Check it out on spotting networks as well as the Parks on the Air website, all right? Your QRZ weather is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Last day of July 2026, SFI's over 150. That's brilliant. Sunspot number is 123. Now, this was yesterday's number, okay? We actually went down in sunspots. We did. and we went up in SFI. And you may wonder why that is. The X-ray is about the same. It's 8.7 to 8.4. But take a look at the proton and electric flux differences. These are big differences. This was yesterday. Proton flux 13. Electric flux 1430. This is the numbers coming from the sun. Today, proton flux 838. And look at the electron flux. It's 94,900. I learned to count yesterday. BZ latitude is negative. That's a little bit of a problem for fading on the bands. Solar wind still down. Candex is 1, but we're expecting to have some noise this weekend. That's unfortunate, but that's probably what's going to happen here. Magnetosphere view, we got a lot of sunspots, and that's bringing the SFI up. We're going to be losing 4 of them by tomorrow, though. So expect solar flux index numbers to tumble a little bit over the weekend. Maximum usable frequencies, look at this. At 11 UTC, if you're in Europe, it looks like it goes straight to the States, but look at the south turn it makes into Brazil. I mean, it's really good. That's on 15 meters. So right around 11, man, get on 15 and try and work South America. You've got great DX there in Europe. A really good opening right there. Also on 17 and 20. Look, 17 comes more into Argentina, and then the 20-meter band starts to tip over there into Chile. So you got some good DX there in Europe for sure. Here it is for the closer look at the Northern Hemisphere. Southern Hemisphere, 10 meters, take a look, starting to come a little bit further south today. So you're in Tasmania, South Island of New Zealand, you're going to make some good calls on 10. Your HF forecast for the weekend by ICOM, for the love of ham radio. Plus 150 stable SFIs? No, probably going to be maybe 150 plus tomorrow, and then Sunday it'll dip. Noise floors are going to climb to an S3 to S4 possibly by Sunday. Best DX in the north, 20, 17, 15, and 12. Best DX in the southern hemisphere, 20 to 10 meters. Nighttime ham bands, stable SFIs. Noise floors are climbing this weekend. Nighttime amateur bands of 160, 80, 60, 40, and 20. 20 now after dark works great. Use it as long as you can. If you're a shortwave DXer, you're going to love the Transoceanic we got today. We've got good DX for you. Daytime shortwave, good noise floors. I'm not going to say they're rising. That shouldn't be there. It should be stable noise floors through Sunday. SFIs, fairly stable. And then occasional fading on signals. Shortwave daytime, 31 meters, 25, 22, 19, 15, and 13. Nighttime shortwave, stable SFIs, increasing noise floors through Sunday. Fading signals as well to watch out for. Shortwave daytime bands, 120, 90, 75, and 60. 49 meters, my favorite shortwave band. 41, 31, 25, 22, and 19 after dark is brilliant. Enjoy it, have fun, and enjoy your shortwave radio. This is your HF forecast. Thanks for watching. Hooray! Love to have you email me, because we love to share your stuff. I mean, it's really cool to share it with the world at info@hamradiolive.org. If you'd like to email the show, have it on here. We would love to share your stuff. If it's maybe radio related, just giggles and laughs, we can do that too. info@hamradiolive.org. Today is technically day number 2 of the European expedition that's happening at the Black Forest in Germany. Here's a look at it from earlier today. Thanks to Steve for the video, Mike 1, Sierra Delta Hotel, who's on this expedition.
This is Delta Lima, Lima Bravo 0, Foxtrot India. Delta Lima, stroke Lima Bravo 0, Foxtrot India, calling parts in here. Delta Lima, stroke Lima Bravo 0, Foxtrot India, calling CQ Pod up for park. Delta Echo 0584 and Delta Echo 009. Sorry, 0009. This is Delta Lima, Lima Bravo 0, Foxtrot India, parks in here. Any calls anywhere? Echo Alpha 5, Juliet Hotel Whiskey. Francisco, good to hear you. You're about 5 and 2 into Germany. Over.
Hi, folks. Good evening
Thank you,
from Black
bye-bye.
Forest.
This is Delta Lima, Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Delta Lima stroke Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Parks Delta Echo 0584 and Delta Echo 0009. CQ Parks in here.
Hi, folks. Good evening from Black Forest. First POTA activation of the day.
I also have Jürgen in the background streaming, so I can pick you up. Try once more, please. Sorry, no copy. Delta Lima, Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. CQ Parks in here. Any calls anywhere? Delta Lima, Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Delta Lima stroke Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Calling CQ POTA. Calling CQ POTA. Calling CQ POTA. Delta Lima stroke Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Parks in here. Delta Lima stroke Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Delta Lima stroke Lima Bravo 0 Foxtrot India. Parks in here. Any calls anywhere?
Working hard, right? They're pushing, man. They're trying to make calls, and then they're all done. They get to the little covered area, right? And they start to introduce themselves. Take a look.
People on the live stream, maybe everyone can say his name and his call sign.
Yep.
Let's start with Tobias.
Hi, Tobias, Delta Lima 3, Mike Hotel Tango.
This is Brent, Victor Echo 1, Echo Tango.
Yep.
And I'm Steve, Victor Echo 1, Sierra Kilowatt.
Remy, Foxtrot for Juliet, Sierra Uniform.
It's me.
Yeah, it's you.
It's me, Morton, LB0 Fox India, Lima Bravo 0 Fox India.
Steve, Mike 1, Sierra Delta Hotel.
Thanks.
Yankee Oscar 3, Delta November United, Andre.
Mihai, Lima Bravo 9, Hotel India.
Cool. And there are some other guys?
Yes. Ivar, Björn? Yes. We need to see your names on the...
For the live stream, say your name and call sign, please.
Ivar, Lima Bravo 8, Victor Alpha.
And Björn, Lima Bravo 9, Echo Hotel.
Cool. Thanks, folks. Hey. Yeah, so...
And basically...
let's flip the camera. As you can see, yeah. Hams from all around the world are here. There are still 2 hams at the hotel. They are not with us. Bart is there, LB5JJ. And Omar is also there.
Nothing, I just want to have a look.
And it's the first day, we just met, and in the next days we will do some parks. We will discuss what parks to activate this evening at the bar or at the restaurant. Hi, Uncle Günther.
Bar.
Nice to see you. Hallo,
Restaurant.
schönen guten Abend. We will discuss this this evening, and yeah, tomorrow evening we have dinner with the local radio club here in Pforzheim. And yeah, also, yeah, let's see. I'm not sure what we will activate. I want to do a park in France because that's on my list. Never activated a park in France. Let's see. Okay, folks.
Then
we
that's
will
the end
now
of that
have...
clip, guys. That's the end of that clip. Good luck to those guys. Did you notice it's not just European hams that are there? There's 2 Canadians, so North America is represented as well. Look for them on the bands. They're going to be working all weekend long. And guys, you know, look for spots. What they're doing is they're self-spotting themselves at these parks, and they're working a bunch of radios. They're on HF plus VHF bands. They might be working 70SEMs as well, so be looking out for them on the spotting networks. There'll be a Delta Lima slant with them, and there'll be a park on the air. Good luck to those guys. Truly hope that it's a great weekend for all of them. Truly. That's great stuff. Great stuff. Yep. Thank you, Steve. Mike 1 Sierra Delta Hotel. If you'd like to email the show, we'd love to share your stuff like we just did with Steve and a whole bunch of hams worldwide. info@hamradiolive.org is where you can reach me. That's info@hamradiolive.org. We're going to get into a segment now that I want to thank Tom again in Bulgaria for. Alpha Echo 1 Tango Papa. He just sent me this video and he says, you might like this. That was pretty much the little tagline with it. You might like this. And it was like a list of these 76 TV shows, not 76, from 1976, shows that I grew up with. And I was like, man, that is really neat. I bet everyone would love this. I'll be honest, I had no idea how much you would like it. So this is going to be the first in a series of look-backs at television we're going to feature on the program. They will be on Fridays, okay? That's why we call them the big show. So Fridays where the good stuff gets dumped in. Not that Monday through Thursday or sucks or any bad, or we just throw wild rocks in. We have good things there too. But like, special little segments we bring in on Friday. So here it is, the top, and these are like the ratings of the best 21 shows from the year 1980. I hope you enjoy it.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hassendampf Incorporated. We're gonna do it.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means. Then along come two, they got nothing but the genes. They got different strokes it takes, different strokes it takes, different strokes to move the world.
Hello, America, from Amherst, Massachusetts, and welcome to Real People.
Tonight, live from NBC in Burbank, with videotape and filmed inserts from practically every place else, NBC presents Real People.
This is it, this is it, this is life, the one you get, so go and have a ball. This is it, straight ahead, and rest assured, you can't be sure at all. So while you're here, enjoy the view, keep on doing what you do. Hold on tight, we'll muddle through, one day at a time, one day at a time.
Come and knock on our door.
Come and knock on our door.
We've been waiting for you.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his, three's company too.
Cooked and cleaned and went out of my head. Going through life with blinders on, it's tough to see. I had to get out from under and look for me. There's a new girl in town and she's looking good. Well, we're moving on now. We're moving on up to the east side. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. Moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie.
Love, exciting and new.
If they can destroy my credibility, as they did Martin Luther King first, take him down in the eyes of his people and then assassinate him, I don't believe that America is beyond that.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
That's it. The top 21. We're going to do 1985 next, but we'll just do the top 10. It goes a little too long, I think, but I just didn't have time to redo it. I hope you enjoyed that segment. We have a lot of people who have been talking about favorite shows here for a while. I want to get to those because there's some really neat ones and, you know, things I remember too, which is pretty cool. First one comes from Kelly. Kelly from Michigan from Wisconsin by way of Alaska and Michigan. Those are cold places, Kelly. It's good to have you here again. Great to have you. Scooby-Doo. Who could not love Scooby-Doo, right? It was the show that they always had the same line at the end. Remember? And I would have got away with it too if it hadn't been for these pesky or meddling, fill in the adjective, kids. Always the same. Yeah, good stuff. Kelly, thank you so much. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Kevin in Iowa, the Partridge Family TV show and Gilligan's Island. Man, Gilligan's Island was my favorite show as a kid. I loved that show. And they always get this close sometimes, right? Remember the time they got like the telephone cable, that giant, thick, monstrously heavy cable that somehow came in the lagoon, and the professor, thank goodness he was there, because he was able to work up a telephone that could go right in there, but they couldn't get off the doggone island, right? Great memory, Kevin. Thank you. Don, welcome in Texas, November 5, Sierra Kilo Tango. Good to see you, my friend. He says, only one answer, Doctor Who. Thank you, public television. Oh, man, that was a very niche but very popular show that a lot of people liked. Doctor Who was kind of really big with a lot of people. I like that comment. That's a good one, Don. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. That's going to go up maybe for a comment of the show. That's a good one. Bill says, Firefly, only 11 episodes were aired and only 13 were made. Oh, really? Nathan Filton was the captain. Kind of a sci-fi Western. Well, they canceled it way too soon. I'm sorry, Bill. 11 were aired, but 13 were made. So the network then looked at these last two and said, forget it. Let's just be done with this thing. No. Let's put on competitive, crocheting or something. Barry Wendon with a neat one. Penelope Pitstop. Remember her? She was part of the Wacky Racers. Yeah, there was like, oh man, there was like oh golly, I can't remember all their names. I can see the cars though, like the guys that had like the car that had like the bell tower in it, and they were like the creepy ones, right? And they had like the bats that were flying around it. And Peter Perfect was on it. He had a car too. Of course, his was the coolest car, right? Looked like it's the fastest one. And then Snidely Whiplash with Muttley. Oh man, they were the evil ones. It was a good show. Joshua in Everett, Washington. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming and letting me know. I appreciate that. I had to check the grid square number. That kind of led me, so thank you. He said, The Last of the Summer Wine, old BBC show that ran from the 70s to 2010 and features older people like us and their daily hijinks. I have to look into that. I've never heard of that program. That's one I'll look into. Joshua, thank you. That's a really good one. I appreciate that. And Bill, Don, Tom Baker as the doctor, he was the very best. Oh my gosh, that's funny. And Gooder, isn't that great? How far is the Black Forest from, I tried to do that today. That was one of the things I hoped I could have time to do, but I couldn't, I just didn't have time. But I thought, well, I wonder how far you are from there, because I'm assuming, like the one guy talked about activating a park in France, so they've got to be fairly south of you, I guess. But I thought, man, that'd be really good people for you to connect with, just maybe for an hour or something. That'd be kind of cool, just thought. Yeah. And Don says, I'm a Colin Baker fan myself, met him in person. He's just totally a funny guy. That's pretty neat when you can meet a guy from your favorite show. I've never been able to do that. That'd be pretty cool. Don also met Peter Davidson in person from that program. And Bill, he's jealous.
Thank you.
It's all right. Yeah. Don with a really big, this definitely is an update, guys. Larry, Mountain Main Trading Company has some brand new TS 990S's. If you have a couple of dollars sitting around, it'll be a little more than a couple of dollars for that radio. But gosh, would it look good in this radio show? The radio show where Larry's not making calls right now because his yard's half dead and he's waiting for people to come and mow it and all that stuff. Oh gosh, guys. This weekend, my goal, Karen's like, well, what are we going to do this weekend? Every week, I swear, really, this has honestly been the truth in our house the last month, maybe 5 weeks.
And now, a Larry moment.
Why not? Sorry. So, for whatever reason, I haven't been out of the house, gone somewhere for 6 weeks now. I'm stir crazy. I mean, just going to the store anymore isn't getting it done, if you know what I mean. So we usually go somewhere. Like, we'll go like to a beach or we'll go to Disney. We'll go do something fun. But the weather just has not been cooperating because on Saturday and Sunday, all these storms come in, right? It's like the wildest thing. So Karen just came home from lunch. That's why I was running a little late today. Golly, it's like on Saturday, there's like an 80% chance of thunderstorms. On Sunday, there's like an 85% chance of rain. And she's like, you've got to be kidding me. Not again. That's going to ruin our weekend again.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Your Airness.
Oh, man.
I hate to be the bearer.
Stop. I said, yeah, Karen, it's okay. Was it that bad of a weekend last weekend? She says, no, it was okay, but you've been in the house a long time. I feel bad for you. I'm like, oh, sure. This is really all about Karen. I know that for sure, man.
Yeah, that's a joke, son.
She wants to get out of the house. She's like, well, I work all these days and then I can't get out and go nowhere. It makes me feel kind of bad, honey. And if you're a husband that like pays attention, listen, guys, you really, when you know your wife is at the breaking point, because she really wants something, right? She's just lost. She's having a bad time. You do something you know she likes. That's important. Give 3 or 4 hours of your time. It doesn't take a whole day if you don't want it to. Give her half a day, but do something she wants to do. And man, she'll be just so happy, and you will be happy too. It's just good sense. Anyway, back to the program. I'd love to have that radio, though. I really would, done. Thank you. I love the 990. Gosh, I love that radio. It's so beautiful. Gosh, that radio is like butter. It's smooth. Brad in Florida, welcome, buddy. Good to see you again. He said, found a combined text/general question pool file. It was outdated. I asked the owner. He said it was from the previous test. He was confused as to why the test pool was changed since electrons did not. Well, because we help people get licensed here, I should make a clarification. Some questions on the tests get outdated, like the baud rate. That's one of the things that they're going to be taken off of tests because the FCC has been petitioned to remove some of the baud limits. So that's probably going to be off of the test, right? So they replace them with other questions, and that's why they do that. When things become outdated, they kind of replace them with new stuff. And the big stuff now is digital, like, digital modes like FT8, FT4, stuff like that. You're seeing a lot of new questions featuring those things, especially like in the general and some of the extra pool. Yeah. Chris, yeah, that's what I hoped, honestly. He says, wow, this is like reliving my teen and tween years over. It's a nice feeling. And the first time we did this, Tom's video was so popular. And I thought, we should do this more often. So I hope you like it. If you do, thank you. I appreciate it. That took a while to do. But next time, just going to be a top 10. And if you noticed, there was one network really missing from the top 10. They had I think 1, maybe 2 shows in the top 10. That was NBC, which was the largest network of the 3. And there was only 2 shows. One of them was Little House on the Prairie. But by that point, the kids were almost having grandchildren by that point. I'm kidding, but you know what I mean. It was it had been going a long time, right? And they were continuing to go in and do more storylines based on new characters. Anyway, when we get to 1985, that changes. I think you'll like that when we go that far. And Gunter liked Starsky and Hutch. I would agree. I loved that show. That was fun. I can't remember, but I remember a lot of red Gran Torinos with the Nike swoosh that looked like Starsky and Hutch back then. Big show, yeah. And Streets of San Francisco and Charlie's Angels. Yes, they were sure pretty. Farrah Fawcett, she was pretty gorgeous, but I always like brunettes, so yeah, one of those things. Chris, he says the 80s was like a feel-good episode. Missed those days. no internet distractions, no smartphones, no social media, but life was so much simpler. You know, that right there could be the comment of the program. Because I believe that most of us who are of the age where we remember those shows being on TV brand new, right? We remember those days, you know? I mean, you can't go in a store today without seeing people like this. You know, they're pushing their cart, they're looking at their phone, they're talking to someone, or they're doing something on their phone. And, you know, we got along just fine back then. You know, mom had a list she had on paper, right? And people smoke cigarettes in grocery stores. I remember that, right? Because my mom smoked, and she'd be like having a heater over the lettuce as she's squeezing the lettuce and stuff in her mouth. That just today sounds like, no way, that can't be true. That's the way it used to be. People just stomped their cigarette butts out on the floor, and they were all over the place. Oh, gosh, it was a different world back then. We climbed trees, we broke our bones falling from them, and life was still okay. Wasn't bad. Chris, that's a great comment. There's a lot of wisdom right there. Brad says, when I was barely out of infancy, I remember a show called with Claude Atkins called Cannonball. I have to look into that one too. Be very good to look at that one. Oh, Greatest American Hero. That was a neat show. Yeah, Don, thank you. That's a good memory right there. Wow. Like that. And Brad, also Rescue 8, paramedics in a 50s Chevrolet Carryall. I haven't seen that one either. I got to look into these shows. Thank you very much. And yes, Love Boat. We watch Love Boat here sometimes. We will. It's like Karen will say, oh no, don't watch this one. This is a bad one because, like, you know, it'll be, so let's just name it. Don Knotts is an idiot in this one. Well, Don Knotts is an idiot in a lot of shows, and he made a lot of money being an idiot. So, you know what I mean? But it's like they had so many great characters, and they bring them back. You know, it's like, oh, wow, David Carradine's on Love Boat again. Neat. And yeah, that was it. Remember that? Gosh, do you remember that summer? That was the summer of 1980, which seems like it can't be that. It has to be like middle 80s or late 80s, the Who Shot JR summer, because they left it on a cliffhanger. Remember? You saw JR lying there and a gun smoking in someone's hand, and then done. And then you had to wait all summer, and then they waited till November to start the next series to find out who shot Larry Hagman in that show. And guys, seriously, if you aren't in America, right, and you can't imagine how many people were talking about that all summer long. They had such a great deal on that. CBS did so well to keep the interest up. And then the people who watched that episode, it was like almost every television was on that show. And the next morning, you were listening on the car radio, going to work or on to school, and they were talking about, oh, I didn't think they did it. No, man, that was really a curveball. I couldn't believe that. That was a big deal. Who Shot JR? Man, that was a real big deal. Don, he says, living in Dallas, that ranch was big deal. We got to go there for a corporate event. Now, that's pretty cool right there. That's really pretty cool. And that was a really big show back then. Don, thank you. Nice comment. Bill couldn't stand Dallas. Well, how do you feel about Fort Worth now? Fort Worth is nice. I like Fort Worth. I had to go once, long time ago. Another one? Really? Okay. Might as well do a third one.
And now, a Larry moment.
Back when I just got out of radio, right? Excuse me. And I had to go on I used to work also in the classic car business. Well, not really. It was automobile appraisals, but I specialized in collectibles and classics from the 60s and 70s. I really know those cars well. And I had to go once for catastrophe duty. And it happened to be to DFW, Dallas Fort Worth. And it was because they had such a powerful thunderstorm that came through. They had grapefruit size hailstones coming down. And guys, I'll tell you, I was in these tents because there was tents set up all over the metroplex of Dallas. And I was there with a lot of insurance companies. I can't tell you how many. There was a lot. And I would send in the paperwork, which was faxed into the office, and they would do the appraisal on the car and get it to the insurance company to make sure the owner could be made right. There were hundreds of these vehicles coming in from new car dealers, brand new cars, not any miles on these cars, that were out in the storm, and they had divots in sunroofs that were just shattered, just big divots, and like hundreds of these pock marks all over the surfaces that faced up. Oh gosh, you couldn't believe it. It was one of the most amazing sights I had ever seen. And the only thing I could think of was anybody outdoors when that storm came through, they had to be a goner or close to it. Because those were huge. I've never seen hailstorms that big, ever seen damage like that. It was, wow. That's all I can say. It was, wow. Yeah. Talking more about Doctor Who is interesting. Tom says, watched, enjoyed, forgot we were streaming Ham Radio Live. Bless your heart. Thank you, Tom. I like that. Gunter loves, here's a boomer. What an intelligent, handsome dog he was. Oh, gosh. Was that, what show? Was that Little House on the Prairie? I don't remember. Chris, The Simpsons, when they started, yeah, they were big because they started in the Tracy Ullman Show as a little short, a cartoon short, just maybe a minute 30, maybe. And it was like a little thing with Bart. And, you know, there was, what was it? The first tagline they had? Can't remember. Anyway, it was like, it became a series because it was Fox's first big show, and they held on to it for over a quarter century. Neat comment. Dawn, there was a Firefly movie that summer, it up, and now a cartoon that I have not seen. Yes, Snidely Whiplash. He was really something. Yeah. And no one's going to say Speed Racer. That was an interesting cartoon too. That was like 60s stuff with the Mark V. I wonder if Yaesu got that from them or if they got it from Yaesu. What do you think, guys? Because, you know, the Mark V was the car that Speed drove, and Racer X, of course. You got to talk about Racer X. He was in his own level there. Bill Myers. Yes, Serenity was the movie. Haven't seen the animated series either. Chris, in Florida, there were so many. Knight Rider, Miami Vice, The A-Team, The Golden Girls, Star Trek Next Generation. Yes, 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 and yes. Joshua in Washington State, my ancestral homeland was near the Black Forest too. I think, I can't say that word, nor will I. Thank you for playing. Don says there are so many good parks in Florida. Yes, and they're all extremely hot right now, Don. Larry will not go there. Karen said that. She goes, you should go play ham radio. I said, would you go out there for 15 minutes? She goes, no, not me, but you sure can. Out of your mind. I'm not going out there. Gunter, that's closer to Mannheim than the Black Forest. Still 100 miles from there to reach the Black Forest, Josh. Okay. We just see Germany, right? It's like, well, Black Forest in Germany, Gunter must be fairly close. Forget that Germany's huge. Dawn, my wife loved to go downtown Plano or downtown McKinley. The old Texas small town downtowns are fun. I went for the food. It's good stuff, man. It really is. See what happens, guys? The comments just go and go and go. This is a treat to host this show today. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Gunter says, yep, like 1,500 more miles to New York City or so. And Robert Varner didn't watch any television after the 1960s. Really? Man, you missed Gilligan's... No, you saw Gilligan's Island, but then you missed, like, the A-Team? What? My brother Bob loved the A-Team. And he loved, what was the other one? Wild Wild West. He liked that. Oh, he liked, oh gosh, what was that show with the robot? Lost in Space. Gosh darn, man. We'd watch Bob. He'd be up there all night long on like the Lost in Space marathons. You know, he'd be like, he's like not moving, but his eyes are wide open. And I think he was still breathing. I'm not sure. He loved that show. Gosh. Chris. Folks were making big bucks selling the Who Shot JR t-shirts that summer. Oh, yes, they did. Man, it was weird that year. Barry Wendell, Tom and Jerry. I loved that cartoon. That was a great cartoon. It was. If you don't like it, that's fine, but doggone it, let Barry and I love Tom and Jerry and Barry's Yaesu FTDX 9000 MP. Okay. I got to get to the next segment. Otherwise, I'm never going to get out of this place, guys. This is a lot of fun. If you'd like to join up your favorite TV shows, let us know in the comments section. If you're watching on replay, put it in the comments of the video. I'll still reply. It'd be fun to do that. Also, this weekend, these are some call signs to look for in the Black Forest of Germany for the European expedition. They're out there having fun, doing parks on the air. Follow them on the POTA website or on the spotting networks. They are self-spotting, so you should be able to make some calls with them and help them beat their record of last year. It was 1493 or 42 or something. It wasn't that. They were real close to like breaking 1,500. This year, let's help them do 1,500 more, okay? We're going to get to a great segment here if you love radio history. When we talk about shortwave legends, Sony usually pops up. Grundig will usually pop up. Eaton will pop up. Even Texan will pop up on some lists. But there was a big dog that started it all in terms of the Rolls-Royce of shortwave receivers. It was called the Zenith Trans Oceanic Radio. Its origins began in Canada, believe it or not. There was a wealthy businessman that you're going to learn about who took a radio up to some lakes up in the northern part of Canada. He'd go to a cabin, he'd go fishing, but he didn't want to miss the news going on in the world, so he'd bring along a radio. And he was part of a small company in New York City where there were a couple of engineers who would hand build radios. That was the infancy of Zenith, guys. Well, this man believed in these guys because he knew how competent they were and believed that he could help start a radio giant. He worked with them for years to develop a radio that could hear like no other, go places like no other could, and survive elements that radios weren't typically going to do well in, right? He finally came on a very good edition of this radio, and he lent it to a friend of his who was going up on a polar expedition. The polar guy took it up into the cold, cold part of the northern part of our world, past the Arctic Circle, and put the radio through its paces. The radio excelled. The guy could hear radio from all over Europe, all over America, into Asia. He was hearing shortwave like he had never could experience before. It was then that the founder of Zenith knew he was on a big, big radio. The first one, well, it wasn't this. This was the last of the tube sets, the B600 series. It was Zenith's biggest radio that came out. It was always leather bound. It was an amazingly quality built radio. In fact, the tagline, the quality goes in before the name goes on, started in one of those little cabins up in northern Canada. When they went to transistors in early 61, this was the first one, the Royal 1000. And it was big, it was popular, and it was the first Zenith Transoceanic to play the FM broadcast band. Let's take a look at a little bit of history to the American legend, the Zenith Transoceanic.
patriotic object, and Zenith began pitching the Transoceanic not as a military device, but as something more intimate, a way for a serviceman shipping out to stay tethered to everything he'd left behind. Picture it, a soldier in a foreign posting, far from Ohio or Georgia, sitting in the dark with this heavy leather case across his knees. He folds it open, works the dial through the hiss. And out of the noise comes an American broadcast. News from home. A familiar voice. For a few minutes, the distance closes. That was the promise Zenith was selling. And in 1942, it landed like a hand on the shoulder. Then McDonnell did one more thing, and it's the detail that sealed the radio's mystique. Reportedly, even after that ceremonial last 7G605 rolled off the line, complete with a press event, Zenith quietly set aside a small batch, said to be around 1,000 sets, from the final run. These weren't sold, they were given. Presentation pieces, handed to executives, dignitaries, war heroes, and celebrities. The movie stars out selling war bonds to the public, and each one had the recipient's name silk-screened right onto the faceplate. Your Transoceanic wasn't just a radio. It was a trophy with your name on it, proof that you belonged to a very short list. Do the math on what that did to the machine's reputation. A radio you could barely get. A radio that had gone to the Arctic and to the front. A radio the famous carried with their names engraved on the front. To this day, that original 7G605, in either its clipper or its rare bomber form, is the most sought-after set in the entire civilian line, the holy grail for collectors. Zenith had done something almost no wartime consumer product managed. It hadn't survived the war. It had been crowned by it. But a legend forged in a few frantic months is one thing. Turning that legend into a dynasty, a radio that would rule its category for decades, was a different challenge entirely. And when the war finally ended, Zenith was ready to find out just how far the Transoceanic could climb. When the war ended, the floodgates opened. For 4 years, Americans had wanted this radio and been told to wait. Servicemen had seen the Transoceanic in the field or heard about it, and come home with the name lodged in their memory. Demand hadn't cooled during the war. It had been dammed up, building pressure. And the moment Zenith could legally point its factories back at the civilian market, the Transoceanic came roaring off the line into a country that suddenly had money to spend and a brand new appetite for the wider world. Because something had shifted in the American mind. Before the war, a shortwave broadcast from Europe was a novelty. After it, a generation of men had actually been to those far-off places, the Pacific, North Africa, the coast of France. The world was no longer an abstraction on a map. It was real. It was reachable. And the Transoceanic was the machine that let you touch it from your own back porch. Zenith had spent the war turning its radio into a symbol of connection. Now it cashed that in. And this is where the machine earned the title that would follow it for the rest of its life. As the post-war models grew sleeker and more capable, the Transoceanic picked up a nickname, one Zenith was more than happy to encourage. They called it the royalty of radios, not the best value, not the most practical, the royalty. In a market filling up with cheap little table sets, the Transoceanic stood apart as the aristocrat, the one you bought when you wanted the finest portable money could buy and wanted everyone to know it. Owning one became a statement. This was not a radio you hid in a kitchen corner. It was a radio you carried deliberately where people could see it. And carry it they did. Picture the places this machine actually went. A yachtsman off the coast, tuning marine weather with salt spray on the deck. An oil man in a remote camp, pulling in the news from a continent away. An airline pilot on a layover in some foreign city, a businessman crossing an ocean, an explorer at the edge of the charted world, each one setting down that same heavy leather case, folding it open, and reaching out through the static to find home, or headlines, or a familiar language in a place where nothing else was familiar. The Transoceanic went.
I'll put a link to that video in there. It's a nice segment about the history of the Transoceanic radio. America's best shortwave radio was that one. After World War II and things changed in the 60s with transistorized stuff, you started seeing other companies come in and they replaced Zenith. Zenith fell from grace, really, because quality was no longer important as much as inexpensive and, cheap, be able to buy a radio and then enjoy it the same way. But times changed. I think, honestly, the first social media that we had, if you want the truth, is amateur radio. It really is. It was the first medium we had that allowed us to talk to people in distant lands. That's the first one. Shortwave came next. That's where you had like the big broadcasters, right? The Edwin R. Murrows and those kind of people who became legendary on shortwave with reports from places that were a long ways away. And the Transoceanic was the radio that brought it home. Whether you got the transistor model in the 60s, right? Or you had
a patriotic object.
Or you had, the last tube set, which would be the B600 series. You had quality that Zenith stood behind in many ways. Let me show you another one. This is quite interesting. These are prices for these radios now. The 57 Transoceanic, this is the Royals. This is the first transistorized Zenith Transoceanic, about $200-300. The transistors are cheaper than the tube sets, believe it or not. The tube sets are the ones people want. Take a look at this one here. This is an A600, and look at it, museum quality. And leather case, just like the tube sets were back then, $675. This is a 1956, so this is right before they stopped production of the tube set, right? You might be wondering about one of the Transoceanic Clipper models, right? Or the bomber one, like they talked about, that went out to the people who were, the specialty people they were giving away. Here's one. Take a look. This is a bomber edition, the G605, $500. And I must tell you, it doesn't work. It needs repairs, but $500 for that, that's what they run. Zenith had a special radio at a time when shortwave was pretty darn important and people heard news from other lands and they learned about other lands too. I miss those days of shortwave. I really do. I think back and gee whiz, man. We've lived in a pretty cool time, guys. We have. We did get to hear shortwave when it was still pretty cool. And we've been blessed to get ham tickets too and make calls to people all over the world. How neat is that? Yeah, sure. A cell phone can do that. Yeah. But we can do it right from our radios. I'd rather do it that way. Here's the Angry Hams.
There, can you tell anything about me from this?
Yeah, you got a round shape and you're full of hot air.
Okay, that was yesterday's. I forgot to change it. Sorry, guys. But these are 3 new trivia questions. These are the last of these I can do. I got to go back to the other format. Sorry about that. I hope you've enjoyed these, guys. First of 3 questions. Which 2 countries have the most hams per capita in the world? A, the U.S. and the UK. B, the U.S. and Thailand. B, the U.S. and Japan. Or D, Slovenia and Japan. Now, the question, the most hams per capita, is very important. A, B, C, or D. Good luck, guys. Around the world, we'll see who can win question number 1 on a Friday Big Show. Good luck, guys. Don, thank you for joining us today. It's been truly a treat. Thank you so much. And Don, neat questions. Didn't a lot of old movies show a Zenith, or maybe, remember that wrong, I believe A Christmas Story had one. Yes, that was the Magic Eye radio. That was such a cool shortwave. Oh, man. Good memory, Don. Good memory. And thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I truly mean that. Thank you. Tom is in first from Bulgaria for this one. The U.S. and Japan. No, that's not it. Bill Myers in Wisconsin. Kilo off A Golf India. Mike. He's got D, Slovenia and Japan, and he's got one correct. Nice job, Bill. There you go. Yes, it's Slovenia and Japan. 0.3% to 0.8% of their population have ham licenses. Isn't that something? I thought this question would be harder for you guys, but obviously not at all for our dear friend Bill there. Bill, well, we just got to be honest, Bill, there's very few geniuses in the world, but...
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wile E. Coyote. Genius.
True, Barry was C. Chris in New York City says C, but D may be lurking in the shadows. Very good thinking there on that, for sure. Kiel, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Lima Bravo Zero Yankee India. Gosh, it's a treat to have you, my friend. I hope things are going well for you and yours up in Norway. Always a pleasure when you're here, my friend. Yep, that's the answer for question 1. Question 2, which state has the lowest number of ham licensees? A would be Wyoming, B is Delaware, C, Rhode Island, D is Maine. A, B, C, or D? Good luck, kids. Question 2. The lowest number of ham licensees for a state in the United States. So you're going to learn 3 things today on this one, and then we go back to the old format on Monday.
Thank you.
Excited for that. Because it's super easy for me to do that every time. It really is. These are a little different. Yeah. Let's see. Bill. Yeah, this is great. Bless your heart. Nimrod Bill can guess correctly some of the time. Indeed. Kel is first in this time. Lima Bravo Zero, Yankee India. He has C, which would be Wyoming. Oh, sorry, C is Rhode Island. Pardon me. I'm sorry, Kel. Nope, it's not that one. 6-volt bus. First timer, welcome. I'm Larry, Kilo 7 Hotel November. It's nice to have you here. Thank you. He has Wyoming, and that's the one I would have thought too, honestly, because it's the least populated state of the 50 states. Man, good thinking. Yeah, that's not it, though. Gunter had A as well. Tom has A. Bill has Wyoming. Chris has C because it's the tiniest one. True, it's the smallest landmass state. Yep. Bill then changes to A. No, Bill just revoted. Brilliant. Barry as well. My gosh, Larry just got another one back-to-back days. You'll love this. Look at this. It's Delaware. Can you believe that? Only 1,080 licensees are there. Rhode Island, 1,890. Look at Wyoming, man. It's like they got like a full house there. And Maine, it's unbelievable. You can find this information, guys, on the ARRL website. It's updated every day with license information for each state. You can find it based on licensure class and totals as well. It's pretty neat. Yeah, pretty neat. If you want me to give you the link, I can put that in the comment section. Right. Last question today. California has the most ham radio licensees at 87,325 licensed hams. Which U.S. state has the second most hams? A is Texas, B is Florida, C, New York, or D, the state of Washington. A, B, C, or D? Last question. Good luck. I found the last one so interesting. Like, Delaware? No way. So I researched it, checked again. Yep, it's Delaware. Amazing. Oh, man. Gunter, close is perfect. That's just fine. Good work. I put Rhode Island there because I thought maybe I could hook one of you on there because it's the smallest state. Good, you know. Yeah.
It's
just what they'll be expecting us to do.
Bill is first in, and the comment stream is flying now. He has B, Florida. Nope. I would think that too. I put that there because of the people might be hooked on that. 6-volt bus. He's got A, Texas. He's correct. Well done. Yes. Yes, it's Texas. Look at that. Approximately 52,000 hams are there, although the wrong question is up top of that. Oh, gosh. Wait, hold on. It's pretty funny, actually. Yeah, it would only happen to Larry on a show, but here, we'll just correct that now because that's not the right question. Thank you. There we go. It is Texas. Take a look at the numbers. Texas is actually third. Florida is fourth. Washington is fifth. Isn't that something? Wait, sorry. Yeah, sorry, there's math involved. Basic numbers. Texas is second, Florida is third, and Washington State is fourth. Isn't that something? 31,540 in Washington State. I found that very interesting. But Texas, approximately 52,000 ham licensees. Amazing. Gunter had D. Kel has D. Chris had A. He got that one right. Barry had it almost. And Chris, he says, Texas is perfect for ham because it's so flat. not around Austin. That's a beautiful place. 6-volt bus says, more times than not, any DX station I hear is in Texas. That's actually brilliant thinking. It really is. That's a great comment. Thank you for that. That's neat. All right, guys, today's topic question has to do with nothing really about radio. Right. Okay. Favorite TV shows. Yeah, I loved Gilligan's Island, and I loved The Addams Family. Like network kind of shows. I'm trying to think because we really never watched a lot of that stuff. When I got married, we watched ER and Love Boat was on Saturday nights. That kind of stuff. I loved Happy Days. Happy Days was so cool. We were kids and, the 50s revival in the 70s was really kind of a big deal. It really was. There was a lot of people who really loved 50s stuff in the mid-70s back then. But, man, Happy Days. I never got into Laverne and Shirley. I never got into Mork and Mindy, that stuff. I just didn't do it. Although I found Robin Williams to be incredibly talented. Oh, my gosh. But my favorite stuff, like you'll laugh. I love Hogan's Heroes still to this day. Bob used to watch it a lot. I would watch it with him. I never caught the bug from Wild Wild West that he had. He loved that show. I was like, it's okay. Route 66 was a neat old show. That was from the 60s. I like that one. But these are before my time for the most part. The 70s stuff, I loved cartoons. My favorite show, honestly, you're going to laugh at me, it was the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour. And that's probably why you hear all these sound effects from Warner Brothers, because I remember the cartoons they came from, Yeah, pretty fun stuff. Let me catch up with comments because I don't want to miss anything. This is a fun show to do. I enjoyed it very, very much today. Thank you for that. Don says, so did Jeannie turn Major Tom into JR? and we were just watching it play out. Man, that's actually an interesting strategy. Because I Dream of Jeannie was okay. Did all right in the ratings. But, JR, then Dallas was huge. It was so huge. And that summer of 1980, my gosh, there was... Somebody mentioned about T-shirts, Who Shot JR? That's a real thing. They were all over Oregon. I remember seeing them there. I'm sure they were in every state. It's like, could you think of this? If that time there was like the internet, right, where it could be, you get publicity out there with that stuff. Oh my gosh, you'd be a millionaire today with Who Shot JR T-shirts. Just one person makes it up and then they're, oh, hey, I saw it. That's really nice. I want one of those. Oh, my gosh. It's just fantastic. It really is. Gunter, Shiloh Ranch, The Virginians was great series also, though I loved The Virginia. That was an interesting program. I never got into Bonanza as much, but I like it. I really loved Gunsmoke. That was a really good show. And if you want to know why Gilligan's Island did not have a 4th season, Gunsmoke. That was why. The CBS executive president said, well, I think Gunsmoke has got better legs on it, and we got to get rid of a show. It'll be Gilligan's Island, which was actually filmed on the back lot at CBS. They just flooded part of the parking lot, no joke, and they shot the show. That was the lagoon, a flooded parking lot. Amazing. Oh my gosh. And if I've ruined any of your childhoods, well, I'm very sorry. Look at how they filmed that. It's amazing. It really is. Joshua loved the opening of The Rifleman. Oh, Chuck Connors. He was so good. Chuck Connors, amazing. Tom, Bonanza, Ponderosa, Big Valley. Those were good shows too. Yeah, good shows. Great memories, you guys. Great memories. Gunter got born and grew up in the Black Forest area. Man, you've got some great memories there, I bet. It was a good time to grow up, wasn't it? He said he's experienced several hailstorms here in Germany, tennis ball size. They made people see the emergency room. Oh, yeah. Man, hailstorms. No joke. No joke. There it is, Chris. Chris said that about who shot JR T-shirts that summer. That was really good. That was a big deal here in the United States. Let me get to the comment of the show real quick before we close the show. This is the part where we just kind of pick a comment that was neat. And I'm trying to find it here real quick because it was a really wonderful comment. And if I missed, my friends, if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to miss any comments. I really am not. There's so many. I'm sorry. Chris in New York City, comment of the show, because he's 100% true. The 80s was like a feel-good episode. Missed those days. No internet distractions, no smartphones, no social media, but life was so much simpler. When we didn't have to worry about notifications and about somebody pinging us or an email that we got to answer or possibly something else that these so-called smart devices do. Life gets pretty simple. Karen and I have done this before, and it really works. We've went out for a day just to go down to the beach, right? Just a day at the beach. And we've left our cell phones at home. Telling you guys, it really makes the day better. It does, because you're not distracted. You're actually engaging with each other. You're talking, you're listening, you're spending time together in a way that you're not distracted by anything else. It's kind of like the way it used to be, like what Chris just said. It works. If you'd like to get your ham radio license, the Radio Society of Great Britain would love to hear from you. They really would. Reach out to them at www.rsgb.org. Make sure and click on the contact bar of their page and tell them you'd like your ham license. Also, please tell them where you live in the world. They'll send back to you a local to you ham radio club, and that club will help you get licensed. And if they don't, reach out to another club, because you're going to find somebody who is seriously interested in helping you. My name's Larry Dio. My call sign in amateur radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Wherever you may be in this great world, God bless you. We'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Für gefährlich glatte Haut. La Femme Geniale.
This represents a very nostalgic and sad moment in Cleveland television history. At the conclusion of this broadcast, WKBF Television will cease operations on Channel 61. As our very loyal viewership, you are entitled to an explanation, and with your indulgence, a brief tribute to the 60-plus employees of WKBF who have served their profession and Cleveland area viewers over the past 8 years. Since the station signed on January 19, 1968, at 4:45 p.m., WKBF has maintained a rich tradition of counter-programming the networks with some very innovative concepts. Why then have we arrived at the sign-off of WKBF? For 8 years, Kaiser Broadcasting Company has invested millions of dollars in Channel 61 to provide viable alternative programming. Every program telecast over the facilities of Channel 61 has either been purchased or locally produced. None have been supplied by a network on a regular basis, attesting to the tremendous economic investment put forth by Kaiser Broadcasting. The introduction of a second independent television facility in less than 1 year from WKBF's inception and static market growth over 8 years have evaporated the potential for economic success. In this light, Kaiser Broadcasting Company and United Artists Broadcasting realized that the survival of independent television in Cleveland was in serious jeopardy. After many, many months of searching for alternative solutions, only one is workable. If channels 61 and 43 were to merge, creating one viable independent television facility, the public interest would be served through competitive counter-programming.
Okay, I'm going to speed up only because, it's kind of a long sign-off and closed out. I don't want it to be too long. Guys, thank you everywhere. Kelly, thanks for coming. Gunter, I hope your aunt and uncle are okay. I'm praying for them, buddy. And everybody, thanks for a great time. I enjoyed this more than I can say today. To all of you, thank you. God bless you. See you Monday, everybody.
IO44101. Channel 61 is a subscriber in good standing to the television code of the National Association of Broadcasters. Our general manager is Alan Bennett. WKBF-TV is licensed to the Kaiser Broadcasting Company. We invite you to view and listen to other Kaiser Broadcasting stations when in the Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Philadelphia, and San Francisco areas.